How's it all going out there in Tampa? Well, you're into wine number 3, 4, and 5 we're going to talk about, and I thought I'd join you guys because just talking about the wines is making me thirsty, so I'm having a little Katherine. Anyway, the next 3 wines you're going to have are the wines that I make with my daughters. So this project started in 2000 when I was living in Chile back in the late 80s. Pinochet, who was the dictator at the time, would often cut off food, oil, power, whatever he needed to do to make himself feel important. Making wine without electricity was kind of difficult, but it is possible. So I told my children how you could do it. So we went out, we hand-picked half a ton of grapes, we handy-stemmed, we pigeage, we punched down, we basket-pressed, and we made a wine called 5 Gold Hands, Goldschmidt, my last name, 5 children, that's how many I had, unplugged, meaning no electricity. And so starting in 2000, Chelsea said she wanted to start making wine with me too. So when Chelsea was 2, I traced her around her head and then she colored it in, and that's where the label comes from. And this vineyard is a vineyard that I've been working on since I was at Simi. It's to the slight east of Geyserville, which is in the middle of the Alexander Valley. Again, single vineyard. We only get about 20 tons from this vineyard in a good year. So 20 tons times 60 cases, do the math. And what's the secret about great Merlot is the soil. You've got to have good water holding capacity because Merlot weighs about 1.2 grams. So it's a lot bigger than Cabernet, which weighs about 0.9 grams. If you dehydrate Merlot 10%, you can imagine you get a lot of concentration of sugar, acid, and tannin. So we don't want to do that. So we want to maintain good turgor in the berries so that when we bring it in the winery, I can extract the heck out of it. And this is a Cabernet drinker's Merlot. So you're going to get the black cherry that you typically get from Merlot, but you're also going to get a lot of plum and a lot of weight and a lot of length. It's really, really enjoyable. The second daughter to get involved is Katherine. And you'll notice that Katherine faces a different direction on the label because she's a middle child. We know what middle children are like, don't we? Who's a middle child in this room? Stop looking around. We all know, as a firstborn, and lastborns will agree with me, that you guys are the troublemakers, you're the stirrers, but you guys describe yourselves as the lovers and the peacemakers and the negotiators. No, you manipulate people. That's what middle children do, and you're very good at it. And Katherine is a prime example. So when I blend with Katherine, with Chelsea, it's always smooth and round and supple and everything is perfect. When I blend with Katherine, same thing, but right on the back of the palate, she wants to have a little bit of weight. So when I drink this wine, I can always sense Katherine looking over me. It just has a little bit more weight, a little touch more tannin, which I really like. And man, she's just my wonderful daughter. I love her to bits, and I can't say enough about her. And then the last wine you're going to try is completely different. As I didn't mention, Katherine used to be semi-reserve Cabernet for about 15 years. It sold for $75. So today, same winemaker, same vineyard, but it's not $15. It's a much better value than that. Hilary, though, we jump over the hill, over the Mykonos, and we end up in Oakville. Oakville is my favorite appellation in the Napa Valley. Tannins are a little bit smoother and more supple than what the higher profile Rutherford is. Rutherford, you do get more tannin in Rutherford. Oakville, for me, is a little bit more seamless. This is a unique vineyard. It's penciled right in between Nickel and Opus. So you can imagine, same driveway as the Opus vineyard. On one side you got Opus, on the other side you got Nickel. In the middle, you got Hilary. And Hilary was named, we thought she was going to be a boy. She came out, she was a girl. So we found a boy's name. So she's named after Sir Edmund Hillary, the first man to climb Mount Everest, happened to be a New Zealander. And so her nickname is Eddie. All of my children have nicknames. But the vineyard is superb, so old, but the intensity that you get. When you try this wine, it's going to be full and rich. I mean, for an Oakville Cabernet in 2017, which I think you'll be trying tonight, is just unctuous. Anyway, my 3 daughters, I don't make wines with my sons, but I do with my daughters. Chelsea, Merlot, Alexander Valley, Guidestone Rise. Katherine, Stonemason Hill, Alexander Valley, and yes, I have drunk a fair bit of it already. And of course, Hilary from Oakville, the Charming Creek Vineyard. Wish I was there. Love to you guys in Tampa. On with the dinner.